A Porsche racing accurate legend.
In terms of the news that
I like the Porsche, man.
I do too.
You know,
Everybody likes
911 Turbo, 911 Turbo S.
That's from the 92.
911 Turbo S.
I remember.
I just gave a free commercial.
Yeah, you did.
Well,
You
anybody out there that has any connections with Porsche, you know, I have one in the garage, but I need another one.
So, good news. The hair test came back. It came back negative.
Yeah.
And I've been getting people's opinions, asking them if they feel that exonerates Canelo of everything. Give your take on it and what you know about the hair test.
Well, first of all, I do know about it. Probably heard about it before you did. But one thing I can say is that, you know, people have their own opinions about this and about that. But I think it goes back to when all this stuff came to fruition and became a really like a forest fire. Something to talk about in the conversation of boxing. Oh, every time we get to this point, there's always something to knock us down, boom, 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 the credibility, boom, boom, boom. And those things is going to be said more lightly, I believe. And I ain't going to say I hope, but even lightly. But I think at the times that we have to reflect on a guy's credibility and personality and the test that he passed prior to the test that came back positive. So my thing is, whatever the stigma out there and what people might think, at the time of now and late this year, or the end of this year, I'm talking about September, we're going to see if Triple G really wants to fight. And guess what? I'm not saying he don't. It'd be almost a year older again. I believe he was slowing down the last 2 or 3 years. If you ask me, I think the guys he fought was junior middleweights. Wasn't strong enough to keep started all the way from not necessarily Danny Jacobs, but before then. I think Canelo's going to have a better chance, even more significant chance of doing what he set out to do the last fight. And there are going to be, I guess, some ways of trying to maybe find a way out of it.
You think Gennady will?
I think other people for him will. I think he's brave enough, right? Good or bad for him, wouldn't do that as a fighter. But I think that when you sit back and look at if somebody else can be mentioned and created in an atmosphere of selling the public that he can make just as much money fighting someone else than a guy that's been in there with him, that a guy is not going to be afraid but respect what he can do. I think Canelo's getting younger and getting better. Had a chance to rest after 2 back-to-back really competitive fights. If I were have a hunch on who got the wear and tear of long mileage on them and a little bit of boredom and getting ready to fight a glorified sparring match, and the only thing that replaces the venue, not the gym, I think our chances is more greater now, but with the possibility of looking the other way and fight someone else.
In terms of the hair test, for I guess to give information for people, what exactly did it show, and how far back did it show?
First of all, it showed that he was clean. It shows that he's right now is free of any of those things that was said, reported, and the speculations that Canelo need these things is not false. It is false. It's definitely something that he know that he has to go ahead and through credibility continue to live clean, continue to fight, and continue to watch what you eat and actually watch where you eat at, which I constantly do all the time. Matter of fact, I brought my lunch into the ESPN fighters meeting after we leave here. I will have my food that's being guardedly watched by armed guards, and I will eat it as I do my ESPN you know, a production meeting.
What food is it?
It's a salad with tuna fish on top, tomatoes, kale salad, no creamy mayo, no creamy sauces, and also I have a side of vegetables on the side, cream spinach.
So with that,
Nah, man, I'm just trying to. When I'm trying to
live your best life.
You know what I'm trying to. What I'm doing, not trying. I am trying to do what Mr. Dwayne Ford's been doing. Is continue to get the maximum time on this earth that I possibly can. Now, I don't know what day and year and month that was going to be when the lights go off, but if I have any say in getting that extra 5, maybe 4 on top of that date called expire, I want that. Why wouldn't I want it? Because I know what this life is about, living. No one has came back and told me what the other one is like. The opposite of life is. So until somebody come back and say the other side is just as better than the side of waking up and said, my back, then I will be in a rush to get out of here. But until then, I have no credibility in saying somebody came back and said, man, you're wasting this time dealing with this politics, this crazy world that you live in today. Come on this other side. It's nice and peaceful here. Dead. No one have said that. But I'm got my ears open and listening just in case, you know, might be talking into an existence. But I'm gonna enjoy this thing called life.
People are gonna wonder, how far back did the hair show? I know that's a question and people
Few
don't
months.
really know. So a few months.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And in terms of the rematch, now is that still the plan? I know
Yeah,
that
Canelo wants Triple G,
Yeah.
and the fans want Triple G, and it's unfinished business. Listen, whatever you think about judge, this person, that person, we know that at the end of the day, both guys went in there and fought, right? And you got 3 people that's looking at the same fight, and you got the world that's looking at the same fight, and you got 18, 20 plus thousand people watching. So, unfinished business. I had so many rematches, as you know. I think I broke the record of rematches. We, fighters, true real fighters, I'm talking about real fighters. I ain't talking about dressed up fighters. We want to do this again.